Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is James from South Texas RC and BRB Racing, and today is going to be part 4 of the series Let's Get Lit RC. So in the last ones we did, we had the Outcast, and I didn't like it not having a backlight, so we're going to install a backlight on it. We're also going to be doing the Traxxas 4x4 Slash, the 4x4 Traxxas Stampede, and the 4-wheel drive Vortex Stadium truck. So on the tray here in front of you, you can see that I've got multiple lights. Those round pods there, those can be acquired from an automotive parts store. Those are trailer lights, relatively cheap, about $7. Right up next to it there are some light bars. That was about $18 for the kit for 2. And then of course right there is the round lights, like that were installed on the front of the Outcast. And those there are like 14 bucks. And then of course we got the wires and everything to hook everything up. And all the supplies ready to rock and roll. So let me get in here and let's get lit on RC. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is we're going to do the Outcast, install that backlight on it. And of course we have to create some wiring to hook in, and that's what these are for. So I'm going to go ahead and decide where I want to place this rear light. I'm thinking maybe back window. Don't really want to put anything on the back because it's just the way the body style is shaped. So when you have an RC car and you're looking to do a light set on it or build your own custom lights, you got to look at the body itself, the contours, make sure everything's going to match up with your idea. Like for example, on the Traxxas Slash here on the 4x4, I was thinking about putting the light bar in the very front bumper, but you can see on the bumper there's a lot of abrasions and a lot of scrapes. You know, that's a really sensitive area that gets hit a lot. So, and then the case on this one here, this is kind of tucked back a little bit down here. There's some abrasions on the plastic here, but I'm thinking about dropping the light bar down here in the front because nothing's getting touched or hit or anything from impact. On this truck, I'm thinking more along the line of, you can see nicks, scratches, and abrasions here, but really nothing on the body. So most ideal would be placing the lights here, and then on the back, probably placing the light maybe up in here or maybe right in here. I did acquire a step bit to do the drilling, but I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and start off with a regular drill bit first, kind of get it centered up, and then I'm going to make my hole and then I'll install the lights. So for time safety's sake, I'm going to go ahead and put a pause on the video, start getting everything drilled and ready and prepped, and then I will be right back. Now we got the hole punched. Go ahead and run this light through here and see how it looks. It doesn't want to fit, so I have to make it a little bit bigger. Try to use the bit and waller it around just a little bit to get the clearance, so that's a lot better. Alright, now I'm going to make the wires. Okay, now very quick on the wiring, just wanted to share this. So once again, check your colors and make sure that your wires, especially if you're going from automotive to RC lights, are proper. And I'm just using a 9-volt battery to test. So we found in these cases with this light, see, we would think it would be common. So we turn around, we put black to positive, white to negative. So we know in this string that black is going to be the positive. And I'm making the wire connector, so off the front lights, it's going to have a male connector. The female connector originally hooked to it like this this to the battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a male connector to here, and then make the Y, which is going to be 2 female and 1 male connector, and wire them together. We'll make this connector real quick, then I'll finish up on the truck. So same thing, went ahead and put the heat shrink here to ready to slide it up. Wind these together. Nice wind to them. Zoom back into the table. There you go. That way you all see me. So we bound all 3 together on the red. And we're just going to fold it down and slide this over. May need to go a little bit bigger. Yeah. Nah, we can get in there. There we go. Same thing on the black. And lay the wire down. I'll make it slide a little bit more than that. Okay. And that's how you make the Y adapter. We're going to wire up the truck next. Alright, so now we've added male connector here, female connector goes to the battery, our Y connector. So we'll plug in. And over here. And now to a battery. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and tape and secure all this inside. And I went ahead and zip tied everything together. Nice neat little bundle. That'll place up here. I'll tape this into the body. And then on this I will show you again how I do the thing with the Velcro. Fold it over and then have a piece inside that we can stick this out of the way when you're not running your lights. Okay, now this one's complete. And what I'm using in here to hold and secure everything down is just Gorilla tape. And then on the Velcro, like I was saying, you take a piece of Velcro, adhesive Velcro, wrap it around the wire, place the other piece inside your truck body, so that way you can put it inside, push it down, and that way you don't have to worry about your wire being in the way, dangling down. Alright, now next up is the Vortex. So I decided I'm going to put the light here on the back. I already started to pre-drill the hole. And of course it's going to have the lights here. This one's going to be set up similar to the Outcast. shoving it in here. Might have to trim out a little excess. Push. Nice tight fit. On the front, it's going to be the same type of light, same style of lights as in the Outcast. I'd say probably dead in the middle. Right here. Some tough plastic. Wow. The excess that melted. Take one of these wires and see if we got the right size hole for it. I'm not going to leave that wire that long enough. Perfect. Everything lined up, bolted down, and ready to be wired. In this case here, I'm using a balance wire extender. I've already chopped it in half. Of course, this will be the end that we're going to use here. But remember, in this case, we need to make sure these two center wires are disabled because we're not going to use them, and make sure they don't touch together. Okay, I went ahead and cut them off. Take some tubing. Very lightly, just go ahead, not to burn any wires or anything. Just give them a little squish, seal them off. And same thing on this too. Just make sure you test it and make sure that you're hooking up everything in the right direction, your positives and your negatives. So once again, we found on this one here that the black was the positive, white was the negative. And on the front, these lights here are labeled with white, black, and black. So let's go black, white, black. And so white, black is also going to be your positive connector. I'm going to wire all three of these together along with the cord, use some heat sink, and I will be right back. Okay, red positive, black positive on this one. Twist together. I use a little bit larger diameter because we're going to be using multiple wires. Same thing up here. And for over here. purpose to them. Let's walk these back a little bit on the casings. That. Once again, lay this wire down. Slide it over. And seal it up. And then once again, place the Gorilla Tape on the inside, secured down the wiring harness. That way nothing gets up in the way, nothing gets caught and tangled. Same thing, adhesive Velcro. Adhesive Velcro wrap. And that way you can tuck your wire out of the way when you're not running your lights. Alright, and here is the Stampede. I went ahead and jumped on this because I knew this was going to be a lengthy amount of time. Setting this up, I had to plan out where I was going to put everything. So on this one, I did the light bar in the front. Zip tied it down to the bumper to secure it. Tucked it down low. Of course, ran the wire, left a little bit of play for swing up through here. And on these lights, it has a box, I guess like a balance box. It says do not remove out of the harness. So use some double-sided tape, place it down this little cavity right here. And then ran the wiring back up and around. Now on the rear light, put it through the bulkhead tower or the shock tower, whatever you want to call this back here. I want to say shock tower would be best to call it. That's what they call it. And then place the light in here. And the only way to secure is I ran a zip tie across it to hold it in the open space that was there, and then did the wiring from basically the light and just left a very small end on the wiring for this. That way when it's all said and done, it can kind of free dangle in the chassis and not affect anything, or plug directly to the battery. I'm going to clean this up and plug it in, and then I am going to call it a night. I'll work on that guy tomorrow. It's already nighttime, might as well flip off the lights. And there you have it. That's what the Stampede's going to look like. We've already done the Outcast and the Vortex. I was thinking about running them on both these Traxxas models, the Slash and the Stampede, chassis only and not putting them in the body at first. But then after looking at, even on this one with the Slash body, yeah, I could wire into there, run the wires, maybe tuck the box in there somewhere. But in all honesty, it's just, I don't think, especially with this one having the exposed drive shaft, I don't want to try to run through here or anything, that it might be better off that I put them in the actual body shell. So tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and conquer that one.